Welcome back to Monday Meta with the Ultimate Chi. So Monday news out. Gonna make some quick. We're gonna talk about some of the new stuff that's coming and whether or not that will affect the meta and how much will it affect the meta, and then talk about the upcoming meta. Anyways, first off, we got this new cloak. Uh, Fetus Lacerna. It's got slash resist. At +5, it's 8 slash resist. So you can think of this as a either cloth version of the golden armor, or you can think of this as the slash resist version of the smart cloak. So this is +5, 8 slash resist. And then it's got similar stats to the smart cloak. Except smart cloak, I believe, for defense, this is 9-10, and then this is 4-21. So worse stats than in terms of defense than smart cloak, but you're not really wearing it for defense. You're wearing it for the slash resist. I think this cloak is okay. Probably should have one or two of them at +5 if you need to. Just because slash is all over the place and slash isn't going away. Units and mostly casters are weak to slash. So like units like Odira, they're weak to slash. So I would recommend getting this just kind of as like you have it in your back pocket kind of thing. I don't really think it's going to change the meta. On to the vision cards. I was also, by the way, that raid is kind of like the Fenrir one. It's high quest and brutal quest. Kind of like the Fenrir one. It's not a raid. I was hoping for the raid where you get the pierce armor, the pierce resist armor. Oh, my dog just unplugged my computer. Hey, stop, stop, stop. You can get the pierce resist armor, because that pierce resist armor requires Void Mega Crisps, and Void Mega Crisp is actually a very good. I actually really need those because it's used for almost all the UR stuff. Anyways, the Siren quest, the Shiva quest. It's another ice type, so that Rubius card will come in handy. Mostly gonna be ran by Rain and Luartha, I guess. And it's high difficulty and brutal, so it's not a raid. The cool thing about the brutal weapon quest, and I really like it, is because it has a very high chance of dropping these recipes. And I know everybody's really sick of farming low drop rate on recipes, and you need like 63 of them. Is kind of dumb. So yeah, it's good to have a brutal raid, and really, it's gonna be Luarta's time to shine. Probably Rain tanking if there needs to be a tank. But the fire in Peril will be really good too. Anyways, onto the vision cards. Downtime. This is a cute one. It's Glaciella doing her sister's hair. This is an interesting card. It's not particularly strong. Max HP up. Let's see. Golem max HP is 35, I think. So this will be probably 25 by 12. And it gives Glaciella a defense up. I'm guessing of 10. And Kadia a resist. It knows. I don't know in what world Glaciella would really need ice up or ice defense. Ice resist up. So I wouldn't really recommend chasing this card. I mean, if you get it, you get it. I guess eventually it'll be useful because it is one of the only ice resist cards out there. So you're probably not using it with the bestowed effect. I mean, in the situation that you really do need ice resist, you would use it. I guess it's good for the Shiva raid or the Shiva quest. I don't see it being good in PvP at all. There is realistically the main PvP threats that are ice type is is Agrius. And I think Agrius is on the way out, to be honest, because Duane is doing pretty much the same thing. Duane is that kind of bruiser tank that Agrius is. The only weakness to Duane is he doesn't have Taunting Blade, and he doesn't have as much buffs as Agrius, but his buffs are insane. 40 slash, disable, tanky, extra move, pretty fast. Yeah, I think basically all those teams that kind of just had Agrius as a tank, Duane is just going to come in and fill in for her. So that's one reason she's going to be on the decline. And the other reason is because of Luartha. They say Luartha has the ability to one-shot Agrius. So I'll also be building Luartha because I really hate Agrius, fighting against Agrius. So I think Agrius is on the way out. But also because of Luartha, I don't think people will be running Ice very much this week. But then again, this can run into a similar situation as the Halloween weeks. I mean, as the Christmas weeks, where I was like, oh, it's probably going to be water meta because Ramada's a little stronger. Well, in this case, everybody pulled for Duane. And because he's double cost, I don't think there's going to be a lot of Luarthas running around. So that being said, you might still see some Agriuses, but really, Agrius, I think, is the only top tier ice unit. I think Rosa's pretty top tier too. She has the capability of one-shotting a lot of people. But the thing with Rosa is she came with Kane, and everybody else pulled Kane, so there aren't that many Rosas running around either. And realistically, I feel like I'm one of the only Rosa players. I don't really see. I've seen like three other ones. So yeah, you're really not going to see too much ice. Maybe Laswell and Mediana are kind of like next tier down from from Rosa and Agrius, but you also never see Laswell either. So, or Mediana. You rarely see Mediana. Maybe in like this might be useful in class matches. That's probably where it'll be useful, because class matches, you're very likely to see people run Mediana to try and do a quicken Mediana bomb, or you're gonna see or you'll see somebody run something like Agrius. I run Rosa in class matches. Uh, People may run Victora in class matches, so like this is actually a little bit better in class matches than it is in PvP. I mean, than it is in arena. I don't see in what way you're ever gonna run into um, the need for ice resist, but the bestowed effect is pretty good. I'm guessing it's 10% area attack resist. So you can keep stacking that area attack resist uh, on this map, on top of the map bonus, on top of that Odira card bonus. You can probably stack that up to like 50 area attack resist. Unfortunately, because of the map bonus, no one's really running double calculator teams or like AoE magic teams. So you can stack that up to 100. No one cares because it's not going to be useful. Okay, next card. That's enough about that one. Blossom in the Dark. I really like the artwork here. It's Skull and Duella. Their love story is pretty good. A very standard Romeo Juliet's love story. Anyways, Man Eater upon magic attack. Uh, First thing I thought about when I saw this card, I can make a Rosa work. I can make Magic Rosa work now, because now Magic Rosa will also have 80% Man Eater. That being said, comes with an ability, Ruinja. I thought this was AoE. That looks pretty good. It's basically, I guess you can think of it as Flare. Uh, you can think of it as Flare. That's what this is. But if you think of it as Flare, it's like, who are you gonna use it on, right? Because Skull already has Flare. Lorella, you're not really gonna give it to her for Flare because she's an archer unit. I don't think her magic is any good. So Ruinja becomes a very awkward, like, well, you can't really give it to Lorella because she doesn't equip staff. Um, I guess you can give it to Ayaka. Now Ayaka has an extra as an extra single target magic attack. That's XL. Or like Kyofei. I guess Kyofei and Ayaka would be the ones to use it. I guess technically Skull can use it as well, but then again, no one really runs Skull. No one runs. No one runs Skull. I mean, people run Kyofei and Ayaka, so I guess you can throw that onto them and then have them use Ruinja. I don't think this card will bring Skull into the meta, even with the magic up. I'm guessing this is magic up 10. So magic up 10, magic 10, Ruinja plus Maneater 25. I don't think that's good enough to bring Skull into arena meta, to be honest. And neither was 100% arena rank for the Skull week. Everybody else played. I think everybody played Howlet. Skull is not a bad character. He has Quicken, which makes him really good, but he's not. I feel like he's kind of slow, and he's not particularly like. He's one of those characters that got screwed by the job, being main job black mage. Yeah, and I don't really see Luella. Well, I guess technically what you can do is I can have like a magic attack team, and I can have Luella with this card equipped, and then run Runja, and then give Rosa the Maneater, and then that way Rosa has 80% Maneater on magic. Yeah, I don't see this card as it's a good card. I don't see it as a meta changing card, and neither of these cards being limited, people aren't gonna chase. I don't recommend chasing for either of these. And then Toneberry, I was expecting this to be free. Unfortunately, you have to pull the card. Toneberry does a couple of things that I think are pretty cool. This Everyone's Grudge, more of your units are KO, the more damage it does. This is actually a very good comeback tool, I guess. The Disable Resist, this is the only way of getting Disable Resist at the moment, I believe. And Magic Attack Resist. So basically, this will probably be 15 because it's MR. So 15 Magic Attack Resist, I guess 10 Disable Resist. Depending on how big this Disable Resist is, this card might be usable or it might be complete trash. I do like the artwork; it's very cute. But yeah, this card might be usable just because of all the Duanes running around, right? Because Duane's running around right now, and he's running around with AOE Disable. So really, I'd rather these two flip, and it be Disable Resist as the party resistance. But anyways, let's see the Toneberry Esper. This is the Toneberry Esper. Stats are kind of nothing to write home about. Standard MR stats. The HP is kind of high, but that's about it. Agility is okay, better than most MRs. The grid. 15 slash resist is pretty good. 15 water killer is not bad. 15 water resist. 15 magic attack. Normally, and 7 evade. Normally, that's a UR stat. Like MR cards will really normally have, I think, 10 magic attack or 10 slash attack, 10 whatever. I think only UR Espers have like this 15. So he has the 15, which is really nice. So I think it's a decent Esper. Unfortunately, it gives minus 10 Earth, but only 10 Water resist. So that kind of sucks. But I think it's an okay Esper. If I'm gonna pull the card, I will pull for the Esper, not the card. The card's not that good. But overall, I believe that's what's gonna. None of these are gonna really impact the meta at all. I doubt you're even gonna see people use it. So even with a 10 pull step up, I don't think anyone's gonna pull for these. Unless you're kind of looking to get profession, kind of like a completionist situation. I would love to see the completionist play this game. That'd be hilarious. Uh, and then make him free to play. Free to play completionist play this game will be very interesting. Um, this is one of those events that they're running on Facebook. Um, I think that this is really good. Everybody, uh, 300 MR eggs, I believe, is enough to max a vision card, or it's able to get them pretty close to max. So I really hope we get to this point. But that being said, back to the meta. I don't think anything crazy is gonna happen with the meta. It's gonna change into the Duane meta that we were all expecting. So you're gonna see Duane all over the place. Those of them that didn't pull Duane, you'll probably still see Agrius. Um, what else? I don't expect to see a lot of Luarta, so I'll probably be running Luarta. Uh, I don't think she's like I don't think she's as I don't think she's as hyped as people say she is, but that remains to be seen, right? Because she may very well be pretty hype. She may be able to live up to all the hype with her straight damage. It's the issue with Luarta is she doesn't have the Ranger sub, and I'd much rather her have the Ranger sub because that would help a lot. I don't really need those. I think I can have those maxed out on their own. Um, yeah, main things I think I'm expecting to see from the meta is a decrease in Agrius due to Duane and due to Luarta, and I think that's about it. You may see people that were running Gunner still run Gunner. Uh, I think this is going to be an easy max out. And that's really it. I'm not expecting any of the two vision cards to do anything. Maybe not. Uh, Too lazy. I'm just gonna hammer this thing out if it doesn't max out. Close enough. Uh, oh, exactly enough. I maxed out Ras Algeti because I'm gonna be running Luarta, and I have a in case I have to run her in a triple gunner setup. But yeah, the slash armor isn't gonna really change anything. I don't really think anyone is that desperate for slash resist. Uh, uh, what else? Demon. The You might see more use from the Toneberry card than you'll see from the other two vision cards. I think it's gonna be a pretty quiet week. We're gonna see a whole bunch of Duane versus Duane action. That's probably what will happen the most. Um, what is this? Yeah, weaken prism for a random element a day. Okay. Yeah. We'll see what happens when we get there. I think Luarta might do an okay chance of being able to kill Duane. Just because of how well Lucia was doing against Duane. So I definitely expect Luarta to do better than Lucia because she hits a lot harder. Unfortunately, Luarta doesn't work as well on this map, the snow map, because he doesn't have that kind of because Gunner has that shitty height mechanic issue. Um, I think what you're gonna run into a lot is the so-called Man in Black team, where it's Duane Kane. I'll show you guys. You're gonna run this team a lot. With Super Stern either carrying Exorcist or Diablo. And this team is pretty crazy. It's running 5 abilities. Uh, running Pierce, 40 slash resist, King running Paladin sub with taunting blade plus 40. That's pretty insane. This is just your brute force team, so-called Man in Black team. But realistically, the current map is not that scary for this team because you're not able to run evade. If Super Stern is able to, if like you can run him on an evade setup, I think it'll be a lot scarier. Just because the 40 buff, 40% slash buff is enough to make them one-shot people as it is. So you don't really need so you can actually run some evade. Since everybody's gonna run this build, it's gonna be kind of brute forcey. You might see a lot of mirror matchups like this. Duane is weak to fists, so you may see people use something like I don't have a reaction ability on him. That's weird. Duane is weak to fists, so you may see people run Cecil or Engelbert with Monk, and hit him with something like a Earth Slash or a Surge Strike, something like that. But I don't really think there's a lot of counters to this. In Guild Battle, especially in Guild Battle, right? In Guild Battle, this should win you one and then kill a guy or two in the next one. In Arena, I would just avoid this kind of setup. I think it is okay to fight this with a Pierce setup. I mean, with a Gunner setup. You probably can fight it with a Pierce setup as well, because they should be all weak to and she's not weak to gun. You can fight this with a Pierce setup, but I don't think I don't think it's favored either way if you fight it with Pierce. I think Gunner will probably do okay here. But even then, it's not like a sure win. This doesn't really have a hard counter on this current map, on the current Guild Wars map, or on the current Arena map. Really, the hard counter to this setup is evade. There is no, because none of them have a sure hit attack. The only way you can uh, somewhat beat this as a somewhat beat an evade team with this setup is if Superstern was wearing Exorcist. Um, and obviously, I've ran this setup a couple of times in free matches in class battle. The biggest weakness to this team is evade. There's no way for you to counter evade on this team. But because of the increase in accuracy in the on the Go Battle map, uh, evade doesn't really fly. There was a match where I fought can't equip Wolfhelm. That's weird. That's unfortunate that she can't. None of them can equip Wolfhelm. Oh god. Yeah, I can't even remedy the accuracy issue with Wolfhelm. So there was an arena match I ran into where I had I think 2 guys still alive at the end, and I died to Little Leela Halloween because she was running a full evade build, and my Dwayne had like 4 chances to hit him, and like all the hits would have been a one shot, but he couldn't one shot her just because he couldn't even hit her because she kept evading. He even went behind her and hit her, and she still evades. So yeah, this team is super weak to evade, and that would be how you would counter him. But it's very tough to counter this with the raise in accuracy buff on the map. But I do believe like you can overcome that raise in accuracy uh, by stacking a ton of evade and fighting this team with evade. But just know if you're gonna run evade, you're running a luck setup, right? You're not. Your opponent might get like a lucky hit, and bam, your strategy goes out the window because Super Stern lands Hazard Crasher on 2 guys, and both of them die. So there I gave my suggestion to how to counter this. Um, but realistically, I think what will happen is there are going to be a lot of Duane versus Duane brute force matches because Duarte isn't particularly good in evade either, and neither is what's his face, and neither is tight ass. So realistically, if you want to get the bonus, um, you can't really run an evade setup here. Uh, so I mean, if you're able to do it, more power to you, and it'll be very interesting to see this being wrecked by evade. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to run evade on the current map. That your standard one evade item plus on each person plus Shiva plus Secrets of the Heart isn't gonna fly. Because I used to run that on the previous map, and I had no issue getting attacked. I had no issue. Dodging. But using that on this map, I'm not sure how much the accuracy is raised by, but I am getting a lot less dodges. So what you'll realistically need to do is something like one evade, two evade items, or maybe even three evade items. Ribbon, run something like ribbon plus stage hat plus bewitching boots or something. Just to get the triple evade stat stack. Uh, to kind of overcome this raise in accuracy. Uh, but yeah, that's about it. Uh, the thing with arena is you can always just avoid them, right? And this is really I haven't done my arenas yet, so you're not really expected. I'm not really expecting to see any Dwaynes. But yeah, the people that do have Dwayne are going to be up top, and realistically, the only way to counter them is if you run. You just got to run evade. But if you're running evade, you're going to be weak to gunners, right? The Luarta side is going to kill you. Unfortunately, Luarta herself also has no sure attack, no surefire attack. So uh, that's uh, that's basically GG for Luarta. She just has to run with people that have surefire attacks, which is not hard because all of the gunners are sure except Luarta. Anyways, that's Meta Monday. I expect to see that man in black build a punch. I expect to see very little Luarta and even less of Agrius. I just don't because people didn't pull Luarta because they're not going to build her with a double cost unit out. Uh, so I don't think people are preparing to fight Luarta. So I'm going to run Luarta. I might I might get into a cheeky evade team to counter the man in black build and see if that's going to fly. All right. Thank you guys for watching Meta Monday. Have a nice day.